In the name of God, the gracious, the merciful, we give him praise and thanks for his mercy and his goodness to the human family. If all the trees upon the earth were pens to write with, and if all the oceans were ink, and then another 7 oceans to add to its supply, the writing would still not be enough to explain the glory of God, for he's the exalted, all-powerful, all-wise. And even if I lived to be 1,000, that still would not be enough to thank God for his many blessings and gifts. We confide in no other in our time of need, and we praise no other in our good fortune. I greet everyone in words of peace. To my Muslim family, assalamu alaikum. To my Christian family, praise the Lord. To my Hebrew Israelite family, shalom. To my people in the streets, what's good with you? And to my Black conscious family, hotep. This is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power. As always, go to the channel, subscribe and share. Subscribe and share to the channel so we can spread these messages that you agree with and that you think are beneficial to awaken the mind, body, and soul of our people. So again, this is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power. I just like to thank everyone who has been supporting the channel, either by subscribing and viewing or both. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is something I'm passionate about, and I believe it could be a small solution to the many issues and challenges that we face. Today, brothers and sisters, I'm speaking to you from the heart. I know it's a lot going on in the world. I've addressed some of it the best that I can on my channel, some of the interviews I've done, and some of the activism in the community. But I'm speaking to you from the heart today. And I want you to listen and listen good. This isn't directed towards any person or group. It's something that we all need to work on. Today's title is called Self-Reflection, Fighting the Temptation and the Urge to Gossip and Slander. I'm going to say that again. This ain't no beat up the white man session today. Even though we're not beating up on him, he is guilty of a lot of past and present transgression. So it's not hate. I'm just pointing out what's going on, and I'm bold enough to speak on it. But this is called self-reflection, fighting the urge and temptation not to gossip and slander. This may seem trivial, a trivial issue or topic to some, but anyone that is striving to do better and has any level of spirituality, whether it's Christianity, Islam, Kemetic, whatever your spirituality is, wherever you draw energy from the Most High, this isn't a trivial issue. Gossiping and slander. It's not trivial. It destroys friendships, relationships. It causes wars between nations and tribes, and it even gets some people killed. Gossiping and slander. Furthermore, before I go any further, again, this isn't no personal shot to anyone. You know why? Because it is something that all of us have done on some level. It just depends on what level has it been. I'm going to say it again. All of us, one way or another, somehow or another, has participated in gossip, slander. That's going to another level, but at least the gossip. But they're hand in hand, because if you're speaking on something you don't know, now it's leading into slander. So this is a very, very serious issue. And again, anyone who is striving to do better, you should be listening to this. And this is self-reflection for me. I'm not sitting here like I'm some high and mighty child of God, and I'm not guilty. This is a project, so to speak, that I have taken on within the last couple years to continuously to try to do better and to stay away from this vice and this ill of gossiping. I don't think I slander anyone, but that gossiping is dangerous and it can lead into slander. Again, when I'm speaking today, I'm speaking to myself right now as I'm speaking to you, and it's a project that I have taken on with myself for the last couple years to do the best I can not to gossip and not to slander. And I'm going to repeat it again. It destroys relationships. It destroys friendships, which is a relationship. It causes wars. It destroys tribes, and it can even get someone killed. It's very, very destructive. So I normally just come off the top of my head with many things because I want it to be authentic and sincere. And this is going to be authentic and sincere. But what I'm about to quote to you, I want to make sure I'm accurate. OK, so I'm going to give you a couple definitions and quotes from Webster's dictionary first, the Bible, Quran, and principles of Mayat. So no one can't say, well, I don't know nothing, I don't follow none of that. Again, this is something that should already be in us. What's the definition of gossip? The definition of gossip is, listen to this, casual or unconstrained concerted conversations, reports about other people, idle talk involving details which are not confirmed to be true. I'm going to repeat that. This is from the dictionary. I think the Oxford Dictionary I got this from. The definition of gossip. I'm going to say it one more time. Casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people. Idle talk, meaning not going anywhere, involving details which are not confirmed to be true. Very dangerous. Speaking on topics, speaking on things, speaking on people, and you don't even have all the facts, but you're running your mouth to someone else about what you think you know, and you don't even know. Now that misinformation goes to that person. Now it's a potential for a wildfire. How? Because you don't know what the moral compass is of the person you're telling. You may think you know, and you don't know who they're going to tell. They may repeat it to someone in all good intention, thinking what you told them was the truth and accurate. And then who do they tell it to? And then that person tell it to, and on and on and on. Now we're going to go to the Bible because I don't want to keep you long, but I want you to hear me, family. Now we're going to the Bible, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29, talking about the ill and the danger of gossiping and slander. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Don't let any unwholesome, meaning not good, talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Whew. Let me say that again. Ephesians chapter 4, 29. Don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. This ain't me talking, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. So I'm not saying that you can't talk about certain things. Certain situations are going to come up where you're going to have to talk about something uncomfortable, but at least make the conversation, like it says, where it can build someone up according to their needs, meaning a lesson. Now, I'm not no Bible scholar and I'm not no Quran scholar, even though I'm a Muslim, but me using my common sense, my observation, and me using my skills of going to school for criminal justice and counseling, and I do it all the time. It's saying, even if you have to talk about something uncomfortable, at least build yourself up and the person that you're talking to, and not just that idle talk, just talking. Moving along. Exodus chapter 23, verse 1. Do not spread false reports, meaning lying, not having the information. Do not help a guilty person by being a malicious person. Do not spread false reports, meaning don't lie. Do not help a guilty person by being a malicious person, meaning by just being mean and nasty and reckless for no reason, which again will spread because you don't know who the person that you're telling this to, or the group you're telling it to, who it can spread to. That wildfire can spread to 1,000 people in one day. People like drama. Moving along. James chapter 1, verse 26 says, those who consider themselves religious, and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues, deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. James chapter 1 verse 26. Those who consider themselves religious, but yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues, you're only deceiving yourself, and your religion is worthless. So you can call yourself Muslim, you can call yourself Christian, Judaic, Kemet, whatever you want to call yourself. But if you're not practicing this principle, and if you don't have some self-constraint of controlling that tongue, whatever you call yourself, it's worthless. That's what I get out of this verse. Proverbs, last Bible verse, and there's many, many more. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 13. Gossip, now it's calling it out by name. Gossip betrays confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. That's easy to break down. Gossip betrays confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps secret. So what I get out of that is, if you gossip and then it gets back to the person you're gossiping about, they done lost all confidence in you. Like, man, I told you that in confidence. I told you that in secret, or I sent you that in secret. And then you recklessly go run your mouth for no rhyme or reason to whoever. So it's saying a righteous person, or someone who's striving to be righteous, can control his tongue and keep a secret. But someone who is off the path, you're going to lose the confidence of the person who you ran your mouth about. I told you about this, this, and that, or I sent you this, and then you go run your mouth to someone? What's wrong with you? This destroys relationships, tribes, nations, and can get people hurt or killed by us running our mouth and not having that self-constraint. It actually shows that you're very impulsive and you're not using any kind of wisdom or knowledge. Because if you did, and that means all of us, me too, you would think first. That's why I said this has been a project of myself, for the last couple years. The Holy Quran, the book of the Muslims. Before I say that, people, this book ain't going to bite you. It's not going to hurt you. Read it sometimes. Then when you hear all this crazy stuff about Muslims being terrorists and we hate people and we do this and that to women, you can go right to the book, to the source itself, and read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. Don't go off of what people say. Now, staying on topic. Quran chapter 49 verse 6. Still talking about gossiping. O you who believe, if a wicked person comes to you with any news, ascertain the truth, lest you harm people unwittingly and become full repentance of what you have done. I'm going to repeat that. Quran 49 verse 6. If a wicked person comes to you with any news, ascertain the truth, lest you harm people unwittingly and afterwards become full of repentance for what you have done. So if a wicked person, someone is deliberately coming to you with gossip, it says ascertain the truth, meaning use your spirit of discernment and say, what is this about? Or is what they really telling me accurate? Because if I repeat it and listen to it, I can harm people unwittingly, the person who they're gossiping about, and many more. Because then people start getting involved, because the people you tell may have good intentions, but they thinking what you told them is accurate. And then if they're already wicked, they don't care if what you told them is accurate or not. They just like drama and like a discord and division. So they're going to make it worse. Some of our people are master mathematicians, meaning they add, subtract, and divide a story. Adding stuff to it, subtracting stuff to it, dividing the truth. You know, they do all the mathematician with the truth. Add, subtract, divide, and then multiply the problem. So-and-so really ran into one car, then you go in line and say he ran into 3 cars and injured someone. Now you multiplying the truth. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide the truth. Ascertain the truth. One more from the Quran and then I'll be finishing up. 49 verse 11 through 6 says, O you who believe, avoid suspicion as much as possible, for suspicion in some cases is a sin. And spy not on each other, nor speak ill of each other behind their backs. Would any of you like to eat the flesh of his dead brother? Nay, you would abhor it, but fear God, and God is oft returning, most merciful. Ooh-wee. Let me say that again. 49, verse 49, verse 12. O you who believe, avoid suspicion as much as possible. Always being paranoid and thinking someone is after you and trying to make something out of nothing. For suspicion in some cases turns into a sin. And spy not on each other, just looking for drama. And speak ill of each other, the gossip. Don't speak ill of each other behind each other's back. Would any of you eat the dead flesh of your brother? Nay, you would abhor it. But fear God, for he's oft returning, most merciful. Would you eat the flesh of your dead brother? Meaning when you speak ill of people, slander people, spread gossip and news, especially if it's false, it's almost like eating the flesh of your brother. You're supposed to cover your brother or sister, not throw them under the bus. And especially don't speak on topics and issues if you don't have all the facts. And even if you do have the facts, you need to be tactful on how you're talking about something. Again, certain topics need to be talked about, need to be discussed. But to just bring it up, and like the earlier Bible verse said, it has to have some kind of benefit for it, about it. So we're talking about something. It's a little uncomfortable. But the whole solution, the whole topic should be, let's say someone stole something. Yeah, Tamika stole something. Okay, stealing, you talking to John now. John, stealing it. I wish Tamika wouldn't have did that. Stealing isn't good. We should pay for, whatever, we want. And stealing, it just isn't good. It displeases God. Okay, you still talked about the issue, but you weren't really gossiping about Tamika, because you talking to John, you were giving yourself a lesson and him a lesson. But don't be like Miss Benita from In Living Color. You remember her? Remember Miss Benita? She's sitting there in the window. Susie walked by. How you doing, Susie? And as soon as she goes, instead of her walking to the store, she need to get rid of all them roaches in her house. But you ain't heard it from me. No, Miss Benita, you're a goddamn gossiper. And it's funny. I remember I used to see that when I was coming up. And I remember my dad saying, that's a buffooning and clowning show. He was talking about the In Living Color. Salute to my dad. Rest in peace, Sidney Howard. I love you, and I wouldn't be where I am without you. I don't got a bunch of cars and houses, but I got a little bit something here and here because of you. Salute. But anyway, my dad would say, that's a buffooning and clowning show. But he said, that's got some truth to it. That Miss Benita and all that gossiping that she do, and that's all she did. And a lot of our people are that way. They just feed off of it. And again, it destroys relationships. And it causes a lot of undue strife. People speaking on things that they don't know. And that's why, one of the reasons why a lot of our young people have so much bitterness and hatred towards each other. I work with young children in the school system all the time and in the community. I counsel and I mentor them. And you should see the bitterness and the hate among them. I got a good brother, I won't say his name, in York, and he contacted me not too long ago, and he said about how he wanted to come up with a program for young ladies because he could see the bitterness amongst his daughters. And he said he was really going to working with his daughters with all this bitterness. And a lot of that has to do, the root of it is coming from gossiping. Gossiping, just spreading false rumors and lies, which leads into slander. And then on top of that, we have a lot of identity crisis and we have a lot of self-hate. But a lot of it comes from gossiping, especially amongst our sisters. It ain't just the young people. That's the start of it. It also goes to the adults. It's a lot of our sisters that can't stand each other because of a lot of self-hate, a lot of envy and jealousy. So it don't just begin with the adults. It starts with the youth, and then it just festers and gets worse. You should see and hear some of these young girls that I work with. The bitterness, the hatred and rancor in their heart. I hate her. I can't stand her. Look at her. She thinks she all that. The next time I see her, I'm going to slap that bitch. That's what I hear. Oh, stop right there. Oh, this is awful. You got that cap on your head and them beads. You profess to be a Muslim. I never thought I'd hear someone that professes to be a man of God speak in such a way. Well, maybe you never met a real man of God. I'm just speaking to you straight and giving you a word of wisdom to you and again to myself. This is something we have to work on because it's destroying relationships, friendships, tribes, nations, and it can get someone hurt and killed. And it's the unseen is what's the real damage, because you don't know who that person is going to spread that to, and you don't know their mindset. Some of our people feed off of drama. They feed off of it because they're not confident in themselves. They lack spirituality and morality, and gossip is what they're looking for. I know people that get up first thing in the morning. Girl, did you hear? And then some of the brothers acting like girls. Yeah, man, so-and-so, and on and on and on. Use some self-restraint. Restrain your tongue. It's somewhere in the scripture there. It talks about the tongue is like a sword, talking about the damage and the violence it could do. That's what I get out of it. Use some self-restraint and you will be proud of yourself. And even more important, that the Most High will bless you and God will be pleased with you. When someone comes to you with gossip, like the Quran says, ascertain the truth or just cut it off from the door. Man, you know, or girl, you know, this and that. Change the subject. Hey, what are you going to do today? Or a man come to you, man, this and that, bro, this and that. Hey, did you see the game the other day? Man, LeBron James was hurting him. And pretty soon they're going to be like, he don't want to hear this. Either they're going to change the subject or they're going to hang up the phone or they're going to go the other way because they're going to see you're not willing to participate in that conversation. And it's so easy to fall into gossip. It's easy. That's why on some level, unless you from a different planet, we have all fell victim to it. We've all fell into it. Because it's so easy to do. It's so much drama and there's so many people not happy with themselves. And a lot of people haven't been taught this. I'm speaking to you from the heart. I wouldn't tell you anything wrong. The Most High God will be pleased with you and you'll be pleased with yourself. Something in you will tell you right away when you turn them away or you stop them. Once you disperse from them and you do that self-inventory, you're like, man, I just made a big feat. I didn't participate in that. You may have just saved someone's life or someone's reputation by saying, I'm not participating in that. Just change the subject or just be like, I don't want to talk about that. Whatever your style is, but whatever it is, just shut it off. And you'll be pleased with yourself. And most importantly, the Most High will be pleased with you and he will bless you because you've just put out a potential fire. Because this is what a lot of people like. Finishing up, stores do inventory. They do it. When I used to work for Circuit City, every 2-3 months, we used to do a store-wide inventory, meaning we will go through the store to see what we have so we could market our business, which was Circuit City. So we would do an inventory. We got 5 of this, 100 of that, and whatever we were short on, we said, hey, we gotta tighten this up. I recommend doing an inventory on yourself, not every 3 months, every 6 months, every night. However you reach out to the Most High, however you get that energy from the Most High, at the end of the night, when you're doing your meditation saying, how was my day today? What could have I done better? Was I kind? Did I give what I had? Not necessarily money. A smile is charity. And most of all, did I gossip today? Did I slander today? And if you did, ask the Most High for forgiveness in your language and do better the next day if he gives you a next day. And cut that gossip and that slander off at the door. And someone, that's what they feed off of, they only got but 1 or 2 choices. Either they're going to change the way they address you and come at you with news. Either it's going to be good news and something constructive, or they're just going to leave you alone altogether. Just cut it off. Hey, girl, man, that big, hey, how was your day today? How was your day today? What you got planned for this weekend? Did you read the Bible today? Did you read the Quran today? Or whatever. Did you read Destruction of a Black Civilization today? Something constructive. Or just tell them, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about something constructive. I'm working. Mickey Howard used to have a song, My Love is Under New Management. Tell them, my soul is under new management. Stay away from gossip and slander. It destroys relationships, friendships, tribes, nations. It can get someone hurt or killed. I leave you in peace as I came. This is the Hour of Power with Shareef Hamid. YouTube, subscribe and share these messages. I leave you in peace as I came. Assalamu alaikum.